Hello YouTube, this is Morgan, Airspeed Prime here at my next Avatar news update video. And yeah, a lot of news has recently come out, and there's a few things that obviously I'm a little bit late doing in terms of a video, but I've talked about it on like a podcast and stuff like that. So let's get straight into it with the most recent piece of news, and that is that Gene Yang, writer of Avatar comics, was recently interviewed by EW, Entertainment Weekly, basically to hype up the release of Smoke and Shadow Part 1. Talked a little bit about Smoke and Shadow, but the most interesting thing about this interview was basically the line right at the end. No question about the Smoke and Shadow itself, but rather just the writer of this article at the end of this text interview basically just saying, Gene Yang confirmed he will be writing all three parts of Smoke and Shadow, and also three more after that. So what this confirms to us is something that we more or less knew was going to be the case, but we hadn't had full 100% confirmation that it was coming. And that is that there is going to be a new Avatar comic after Smoke and Shadow. And this isn't the Korra comics, because we know Mike is going to be the writer on them. So this confirms another Avatar comic series that we didn't know anything about before. Now, we don't know anything about what this is going to be about, other than most people assume and want it to be Water Tribe focused somewhat. So Katara and Sokka can get more focus and have them return to the Southern Water Tribe, where the series began, for the first time since the end of the series, basically. So that's the predictions for that story, but we don't know for sure that that's the case. I think even Gene Yang in an interview a while back said that he had ideas for that, so maybe that is what's coming. But it's nice to have full 100% confirmation that there is stuff coming out. That I assume this confirms that at least potentially Avatar comics and Korra comics will be kind of released side by side at some point, depending on release dates, or at the very least it'll be Avatar comic, Korra comic, Avatar comic, and we won't have as big of a breaks as we've kind of been having right now. Next piece of news is I suppose a non-piece of news, but that is that there was a lot of kind of craziness in the fandom in the past few days, because apparently people were thinking that The Last Airbender 2 movie had been confirmed to be coming out, when in fact what actually happened was just some website put out a clickbait article with the title saying that it was confirmed, and they posted information that came out like many years ago about M. Night Shyamalan hoping that number 2 would be made. So there was no confirmation, no new news here, but obviously everyone made a big deal about it. The only thing really I have to say about this is just that, like I've said about a bunch of stuff about the movie interests so many Avatar fans who hate the movie and shouldn't care about it, and I don't get that mentality. If you don't like the movie continuity, ignore it. Why do you care if another movie comes out? Let the people who actually want to see it watch it. It doesn't affect you if you don't like the movies. That's just my perspective on it. I really don't get this hyper negative opinion to the movies. You've watched the first one, you didn't like it. You don't like the movie continuity, clearly. So step back, focus on what you do like. You can ignore all of this if you just ignore it. But there's so many people get crazy about this. Like, I think there was even a petition like a day after this thing potentially happened, saying stop this from getting made, stop anyone from ever writing a script for another movie again, or something like that. It was crazy. Like, I just don't understand why people get so negative about this stuff. Again, I don't mind the movies. That's my perspective on them. I don't love the first one. I don't hate it. It's just like, I find it okay. I find it watchable. I don't have like this vile hatred of the movie whenever information comes up about it. If someone brings it up and is honestly wanting to talk about it, I will happily discuss the movie with them, because I find it a really interesting thing to talk about. Because if there's one thing I call that movie, it is interesting. Not necessarily amazing or like extremely good, but just interesting. There are good aspects, bad aspects, and that's what makes it so interesting to talk about. But just the amount of people who constantly, whenever anything comes up about this movie, it's listed as airing on some weird channel, some really obscure channel in like Japan or something like that, and they all complain about it, like, why is this channel showing this movie? And it's just like, hey, it's been a while since the last Airbender Hatred Brigade came out. Why are you suddenly returned now just because this TV listing has come up? It's just, I don't get why people hate that movie so much. In terms of always talking about it, it's just this weird negative mentality that I just don't understand. But next piece of news is that we have confirmation that there's going to be a Legend of Korra Complete series DVD and Blu-ray coming out. Brian Konietzko on Tumblr a while back posted an image that we thought could potentially be a soundtrack because it was a square image, but it was just a sketch and he wasn't saying what it was about. Now, just recently he posted this image on Tumblr, and basically he confirms that this is the finished piece of art for the cover for the Legend of Korra Complete Series collection on DVD and Blu-ray. So a while back, a few months ago, we had announced the Avatar The Last Airbender Complete collection on DVD. Now we have the Korra one, and they seem to be doing matching kind of art styles on this. So the white background and then one character of note kind of on the front, really. I assume it means that we're also going to be getting new covers for Korra Book 1, 2, 3, 4 to match with this whole aesthetic they're going for. But we don't have confirmation on that yet. No pre-orders up, no price, and nowhere has it really listed. Brian posting this image on Tumblr is confirming that this thing exists. But obviously it's coming out sometime after October 6th, I think, is the release date for the complete collection for Avatar The Last Airbender. So this is definitely going to be coming out sometime after that. I assume potentially like very end of year, early 2016, but I can't see them spending too long between these releases just because they are so linked together and it makes sense to release them fairly close together. But yeah, that's that. Only other stuff to talk about is release dates on other things. First up, for UK and Irish fans like myself, Legend of Korra Book 4 DVD is going to be out November 16th. Amazon put up the order for this. I have my pre-order in for this because I want to complete my UK DVD collection. And yeah, November 16th, it's taken a while for this to actually get announced, but finally we have a date for everyone to complete our collections. And yeah, we don't know like if it's going to include the poster that the USA version came with. I hope it does. I don't see why it wouldn't, but we'll have to wait and see. And of course it's going to be the exact same as the USA version otherwise. Other release dates, probably more recent release dates, are obviously next Wednesday, a week from now. Release date in comic book stores for the Legend of Korra Book 4 Balance art book. Art of the animated series. So another collection that's going to come to an end is these big art books for the Legend of Korra. I'm excited for this. I'll hopefully be able to get it on Wednesday and get a review out, but I haven't had the best of luck in recent times with books, so it may or may not happen, but I'm pretty excited for it. So only a week away for that. If you order from like Amazon, of course, it's going to be like September 15th or something like that when they start to ship it out. Last thing is the Smoke and Shadow Part 1 is out September 23rd in comic book stores. And October 6th, I think, from elsewhere. So still a little bit of time before that book comes out, but it should be pretty exciting when it does come out. I've already read it, obviously, early review on my YouTube channel, written review. Check that out, links in the description to that. But yeah, I'm excited to actually get to discuss this book with other fans in detail because I've kind of had to hold my tongue on a lot of the specifics, but it's a pretty good book. It's definitely worth getting a hold of when it does come out. So yeah, we should be getting some Avatar Legacy news at some stage in the future. I contacted Inside Editions and they said they will be putting out like a press release and some extra information on the book at some stage this week, but I'm not sure exactly when they're doing that. They're pretty bad at communicating with me, so I don't know what the situation is there, but hopefully we'll have more information on Avatar Legacy coming up soon. But other than that, that's been the news. Thanks for watching this video, and bye.